major development that revealed the growing tension between authority, right, and public confidence in Nigeria. Now, first, in Anambra State, there are contradictory reports. One from the governor saying that the Onitsha main market resumed as usual, while reports from traders in Onitsha say that they shut their shops and observed a sit-at-home, openly defying directives from the state government. Despite assurances of safety and warnings against compliance, commercial activity came to a halt in major markets. The development raises serious questions about state authority, public trust, and the economic cost of repeated shutdowns. Now, leaders choose to come out together and agree that they have come to an end with the sit-at-home in the East, but it seems as though traders are not yet at that point. Now we move over to another region in Abuja, where a court has restrained the Nigeria Labour Congress and the Trade Union Congress from proceeding with a planned protest in the Federal Capital Territory. The protest was intended to press demands on economic hardship and increasing lack of workers' welfare. The court order has now shifted the conversation from protest demands to constitutional rights, the limits of judicial intervention, and the shrinking or safeguarding of civic space. For many Nigerians, the question is simple: where do workers turn when legal protest routes are blocked? And finally, the Nigerian Police Force has commenced a 90-day training program focused on trauma management and mental health care for officers. Authorities say the initiative is aimed at improving officer well-being and professional conduct. Critics, however, argue that without structural reforms, better welfare, and accountability, training alone may not translate into better policing on the streets. And these are the stories we're treating. But we have to first of all start in Anambra State, and we'll take a look at a video from Governor Soludo describing how things are now normal in Anambra State as concerning Monday sit-at-home, and how people are now back at their jobs and markets. But the interesting thing is people have different opinions as to what exactly went down on Monday when it concerns the sit-at-home. But let me get your take on that. Do you think we've gotten to that point where we have completely ended sit-at-home in Anambra State?
Okay, good morning, everybody. My name is Ifoma.
Okay.
All right. Concerning the sit-at-home order, which was instituted, that should be last week by the governor of Anambra State. He ordered that everybody should, stay at home, and which everybody complied to. So opening. People saying now that the market has been open, I think all this thing is, for me, I feel is just propaganda, because I saw videos where he was talking to people in the market that he will be visiting their shop, that he's glad that they came out for the business of the day. And yesterday I personally went around I think that should be around Aroma. There was no movement. Even Solution Fund City, there was no movement there. Then getting to Onitsha, everywhere was completely shut down. And this is what I did. It's not like the market was not open. The market was open, but people didn't turn out for normal Monday activities because of the same sit-at-home. I think they are just adhering to the solidarity or the whole sit-at-home order by the IPOB. And then I equally made calls inside the market. I caught some people to know if truly maybe the part that I saw that I didn't see people going about their normal businesses on a daily basis. And he said that the market was on shutdown, that yes, the market opened yesterday, but people didn't turn out for the normal activities of today. So I think this whole thing is just a propaganda. And I equally saw yesterday from ABS what's it called, correspondence, I saw one of their status that they are now taking attendance for the people that comes to the market on Mondays. I saw some of the attendance, and people didn't really turn out much. So like I said earlier, all these things are just propaganda. But did people turn out to the market yesterday? There was no turnout. There was no
but
turnout.
The market was open. So is that so now? unlike what the governor came out to tell everyone yesterday about how people came out to their markets, to their shops to sell. It's as though it's a different report. And I don't know let me just get your take first off before I ask what exactly would be the way forward, because he actually said if they do not open on Mondays, he was going to shut it down for a month.
Okay. We want to appreciate the governor of Anambra State because many people might not really understand what he is trying to do. People will always say propaganda here and there and bring up because we have already packaged ourselves in the negative aspect of life. People will always want to give you that vibe. What we tend to achieve with negative things and down in Southeast is what I am yet to know. Why we always build our whole life in the negative. Now the issue is that when the governor gave orders, some people that say they are agitators came out to say they are going to fire anybody they see on the road and stuff. So it became people became a little bit apprehensive.
But they killed somebody yesterday.
Please, there was no death anywhere.
Okay.
They started bringing up old video, and the video of the man on the floor was a video of the husband of a former wonderful woman, which I don't want to mention her name, that was killed sometime at Mbo Junction. So that was what they were doing. The people who appreciate doing evil to Southeast started bringing fear, putting fear into people. Now it becomes one of the things I just said. I said, I don't know why and what we tend to achieve in negativity. Now that aside, so in the market aspect of it, of a truth, there is no time it's going to be a spontaneous reaction that people would, everybody will just, since there has been another, we're going to kill, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. So people, but thanks be to God that there's some people who defied that orders and we were in the market. At least people who were showing where people were not should as well be showing where the governor came to the market, went to a Emeka, went to whether Bright Street or so, there where people were, the shops were all open. A whole particular line was open. People who sells jeans, wares and other things. People saw it. He walked around the market. At least he was convinced and he was happy. They were, at least it was an appreciable response. There was no time every whole body is going to come out. But at least there was a response, which at least he was happy that people didn't flaunt his orders. They saw it and that is it. And people must realize, our people in Southeast must know something. We must come out from this bondage we have enslaved ourselves in the name of what I am yet to understand. We must not put fear into your own people. Your own people. We're not talking about outsiders. A great man does not, does not destroy his home base, because your home base is a place where you run to.
Yeah.
And you are bold. People will hide you because you are our brother. But when we keep destroying where you are bold, where you will
Onitsha. That Monday, February 2nd, 2026. Okay? I think I'm the mark of man. Today, Monday, I think I'm the those of you put on Tata, again, when there's Anambra. Look here. I am to go when there's Anambra. Mondays, I can make shops. And I'm a German market. I'm going to main market to shop in a main market. for the first time in 5 years on a Monday. The shops there are open. Main market is open. The main market is now open for the first time after 5 years. I'm going there to buy a few things. I will go to the other emergency line. Well, now, I will come to your shed. Shed, your shed. I will come to your shed. Ono manabu monyo tu. Ono makanabu monyo tu. Oh, you to Noiba. Thank you very much. Thank you. Imejuleju. Hey, mbaka nabia, agmadia say. Admadia. Thank you very much. Thank you. I love you all. I love you all.
So that's a video from the Governor Charles Soludo of Anambra State yesterday in Onitsha market, and the fact that a lot of people have different things to say, although I'm getting from Mr. Daniel Sacramento, is that they were not expecting a full-on compliance, but to some level that there are people who actually came out to put an end to Monday sit at home in Anambra State. But let me get to you, because a lot of people, a lot of traders in Onitsha as well, because of the remarks from the governor saying that if you do not come to your shop, you do not resume business as usual, that they would take it and do something with it. He even went as far as saying that he might decide to build a school in Onitsha main market. Do you think that in response and in agreement with what some of these traders are saying about how harsh it seems from the governor with the things he said, with the proclamations he's made, do you think that he is going about this the way that would actually bring about result?
Okay, first of all, I'll start by commending him by taking this bold move, because I mean the Southeast have been shackled with this whole sit-at-home order, and I mean there's a lot of crippling when it comes to economy. So him taking this bold move, I think for me, when we discussed this earlier, it is an open and welcome development. But the problem here is the way he is going about the entire thing. That's the problem I have. I said in one of our shows that this is not the only state that is adhering to the sit-at-home order. We have Enugu State, we have Abia State, we have other states in the east that are adhering to this. So why not talk to the kingpins to find how you will better dialogue with people, talking to the leaders in the market to find out how this can actually be properly implemented. That coming out to say that you're going to revoke people's property. Let's say, for example, I have a property I have a shop. I'm more like the sole owner of the shop in Onitsha market, and you come out and say, if I don't come out to my shop, that you're going to revoke my ownership and use it and do something else. That is an abuse of office. I've not even seen the time where the president of the United States of America came out to say that he's going to revoke people's buildings. Even if he does that, I have not seen when he came out in open to say that. Not just that, let's come down to Nigeria. I've seen Wike perform a lot of maybe like atrocities and the rest, taking people's land and the rest of them. But I've not seen him on social media say, I am going to take this person's land or I'm going to use it and build a school, I'm going to use it and do something else. For me, that is an abuse of power. And for people that have trusted him over the years, I feel like it's kind of undermining the situation on ground and how best to go about this. That's number one. And number two, there was something I saw in the video where somebody was saying that the market jureju, that is, the market is filled to the brim, that a lot of people came out to shop or do their daily businesses. And for me, I feel like that is solely a lie. It's a lie. It's a cooked up story. It's a propaganda. Because I've made calls in Onitsha. I've even gone close to Onitsha, and I've seen that a lot of people did not open. Yes, we know that. I mean, when you enforce a particular law or policy, that you will not expect massive turnout immediately, but along the long run, you start seeing people turning up. But for yesterday, people did not turn out for activities. And that is why I still maintain what I said, that all these things are propaganda.
And Ms. Dana Sacramento, do you approve of the way which the governor has gone about this?
Like I keep saying, normally when we are making some level of speeches and things, we should always understand, we shouldn't be too emotional.
It's not about emotions, Mr. Sacramento. It is not.
Just allow me, please. We shouldn't be too emotional about things. Your citations, you know, when you are doing some citations, you look at, you have proper thought. When IPOB started, Mike destroyed Igbo people's shop in Rivers State at Obibo because of these certain things. A lot of our people were killed in Rivers State. Maybe you are not aware of that. So when you're making some citations, we should always you know, have it properly. Now, because we are not talking much about it, doesn't mean it didn't happen. Now,
maybe you didn't really hear me well, the things I said. You didn't really hear the things I said well.
Everybody have their own way to achieve whatever they want to achieve. I'm not making case for anybody. Nobody is a saint. If Soludo has spoken and said he's going to revoke people's properties and bring down the market to be schools, he has the power. He's the owner of the land. He's the chief security officer. He owns it. This was the same man when Obo was shut down by NAFDAC for 2 good months. The market people ran to him for intervention. People who were making mouth, none of them came out. They went to him for intervention. NAFDAC alone shut down a whole Obo.
In Onitsha.
In Onitsha for 2 good months. You could imagine the trauma people passed through. So the truth about, like I keep saying, whatever the governor is doing is not doing for himself. After all, he has only 4 years to stay. It's just for people to break that bond. Since everybody has now gone home to relax. Now he has everywhere. One of the things is that when when evil becomes a pattern, it looks as if it's a tradition. Now, main market, a lot of irregularities have been happening there. People, different market executives have come to scatter so many places, build things, even block drainages and all these things. That is why if you have gone there during rainy season, you're going to be saying, wow. You find out that there's no parking slot there anywhere. You park your car maybe at somewhere in front, a very far place, then you don't take cab. So now he says, we are going to revoke all those things because there is no place that has no master plan. We are going to do that so that we'll be able to remodel the market. Somebody will do it. So in as much as people might not like his pattern, what we are looking at is the solution. What we are looking at is delivering democracy dividend to the people. Let the people begin to enjoy those things that they pass in the budget. Let people begin to feel it.
Right.
So that when I pay my tax or my taxes, I shouldn't, like it has been before, You pay taxes, you don't have good road, you don't have basic amenities, everything is just there, and somebody will just come speak grammar for 8 years and walk away.
So do you think that the path he's on now is the
Exactly.
path that would lead to achieving that result?
Definitely. Now,
So you're supporting the way he's going about this?
now let me tell you, if he doesn't bring out a red eye, people will go home and become comfortable that Monday has been seized by faceless people who don't know. In as much as the real IPOB people says, whenever we want to declare it at home, it's going to come out on our letter-headed paper. We are going to see it. And then the Kanu has said, only when we want to go to court. Do you understand? These
So
things,
you're saying that even the idea of the sit at home has been hijacked?
the idea of everything, even the struggle has been hijacked. It has. All the whole cries and the fights and the killings here and there, what have we achieved with it? So that's what we're trying to say. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's make our place a livable place.
Okay.
Let's come back. You know, we can't be fighting ourselves because it looks as if we're fighting ourselves. And the people who are the main people that are causing us pain are they relenting on their own.
All right. So now I would like to hold your thought there and
Then,
come
no,
to
what I wanted to,
all right.
sorry, before you, then in the market, like I said, what the man has done, if you say him, he would have just said, no. That the level of people that came out yesterday, I am not happy. Then the other side shut it down. No, he didn't do that. What he did was jubilating. He was happy. Why was he happy? He knows that little by little, that thing would subside.
All right.
Do you understand? Now he has gotten, at least people can now see that I can come out. That is the target.
All right, so now I'm coming to you, Former. Now, with what we've heard and with what we've seen so far, and I know your stance already on how you do not approve of how he is going about this. Now, which other way would you propose?
Okay, I think I mentioned talking to the market leaders because he said that he is going to have a conversation, a dialogue with them, and they will find best way to implement that. And which I was looking forward to, hearing, okay, I've spoken with them. This is how I want us to go about the whole thing. I'm yet to hear that from him. And the only thing I heard was him coming out to enforce this whole thing, telling people that you must come to market on Monday. If you don't come to market, I will shut the market for 1 month, and I might even extend it to more months, which for me, like I said before, is an abuse of office. That's number one. And then number two, I said that he can actually meet other leaders from other states to find the best ways to go about this. Now, if there is unanimous effort with other southeastern governors with enforcing those whole thing, I'll say, okay, this is, for me, is a big move, and maybe we'll see something more positive coming out from it. But coming out to say, I am going to revoke ownership of people's shop, like I said, is an abuse of office. And I wouldn't really want to, I'm not a lawyer, but if we could get a lawyer's perspective on this particular statement of his, I would actually love it, because for me, I feel like, I will not say it's, let me just leave it as an abuse of power, because I will not say it's an impeachable pronouncement. I will not say it because I'm not a lawyer, but for me, I feel like that was really autocratic. That's how I'll leave it.
Okay, and then
Before you go-
finally,
before you
sorry,
go
no,
back
let
to-
me just, because of time.
No,
just
that's what,
finally-
let me clear her.
All right,
Hold
yes,
on,
it's the
hold on.
same thing. It's the
Yes,
same question
okay.
from what she just said.
Okay,
because
question.
of the autocracy, yes.
Okay.
So because we also saw a post from Soludo's son, who came out to make a slight shade at this proclamation from Governor Charles Soludo, his father, saying that he doesn't belong in an autocratic environment, sort of, right? Now, a lot of people have come out to say that the reason why Governor Charles Soludo did not go ahead to make such radical decisions in his first tenure was because he was trying to secure his second tenure, and now he is unleashing autocracy. What do you have to say concerning that?
Okay, people, like I said, everybody has their own view to anything they want to say. Do you understand? The most important thing is that you are focused in delivering the dividend of democracy to the people. Being sincere, delivering whatever you want to. Everybody must not like you. That is the truth about it. Everybody mustn't like you. Now, let me clear Ifoma. Please. That's why I say whenever we want to do things, let's get clearer vision of our discussions. Now, a week ago was when Soludo shut down main market.
Yeah.
And 2 days after, he had an extensive meeting with all the market leaders. So you should, that's why I'm saying we should always have extensive
I said that. So Mr. Sacramento, I need you to get me correctly. Okay. I said that he said he was going to have a meeting with them, but I'm yet to hear him say he has had the meeting. Now, that was what I said.
Will not come and tell
so I didn't draw a conclusion.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying now. That 2 days after,
you're the one saying it now, but I didn't
there
get
was
to
an
hear
extensive meeting with all market leaders. That was what led to the opening of the market yesterday. That is one. Then also, there are states that some of their markets are open. Omaya is open. The governors meet every now and then, seeking for a way to end the menace of sit at home.
Okay.
Yes. So Omaya is open. Aba, no. They are still working on how to systematically.
Is that what I mentioned?
Good. Now that's you can talk about without Omaya, because Omaya is the state capital of Abia State. Yeah. So that's the Obete opens. Mba fought them, and today people are going back about their normal business. Ebonyi State market has been open for the past international has been open for the past 4 years, even when in the heat of all the issues. They don't close their market.
Okay, Mr. Sacramento.
I'm just trying to
what you're saying now. You're saying now that Enugu State. Wait, you said
I'm not interrupting you.
You said the market. No, I just want to inject something. You said the market in Enugu State is open. That Mba fought them. Did you come out to see any time on social media where Mba said that he's going to revoke
Mba shut down people's shop. Hold on.
Did you hear when he said he's going to revoke people's ownership?
Yes,
I'm telling you, he did not say anything like that. He didn't say anything like that. Go and check it. No, guys, no.
I'm not arguing. I didn't come out to argue.
I'm just trying to tell you. He never said anything.
No, I'm not arguing.
No. So I understand that.
I am not arguing.
What I'm tackling is the way he's going about.
I am bringing out what you don't know. So all you need to do is to listen, not attack it.
I understand what you're saying.
So I'm just trying to tell you things you do not have information about. Mba fought them. Mba was the first governor who started saying, I will shut down people's shop. In fact, he went ahead to do that. When the controversy was everywhere in the social media. It's not the talking type. Mba is not the talking type. He just come, he gives his instruction and he works. At the time, people who wanted to do this and that, there was even killings in Chris Kemis where this militancy killed some people who were going to market and some commuters. And that thing would have derailed a lot of people, but he kept on fighting till he was able to achieve what he has achieved today. Now, the general view is that whether Soludo is or not, at a time come, the last circular Soludo passed to market leaders, he has been telling them to open up their markets. The last circular he passed, which you might not have the first-hand information, was January 22nd, where he gave them the land that if they do not open, he's going to shut down the market. That was when he now went last week to shut down the market. Now, he has been using carrot and the stick. And at the time, he has to use the stick. He has been using carrot for a long time. And now he has to use the stick. Now, every sensible governor would always want the best for his people. Sensible. I do not mean, and there are people who are just coming, who are hungry people, that just come to do things and walk away. There are ones who have come to deliver their people out of shackles of the enemies. Now, there is no time. There are times you must use your executive power. Do you understand? There are times you must stand your grounds to use your executive power. It doesn't make you. Okay, no, I'm just trying to tell you. Like, it doesn't make you. It doesn't make you an autocratic person. No, it doesn't make you. You have to say no to some certain things. Even in families, there are times your father will tell you, you cannot be older than I am.
Mr. Sacramento, this I-pop talk.
So the issue
is a sensitive topic.
Do you understand?
So the way you go about it is what I have problem with.
The man has to use his executive power to know if he will stop some certain things.
Not by fire, by force.
That are not right.
And not force me
that
to
was
come
how
to my house.
He would have just sat down and know, like the people now. Look at workers. even when everywhere was soft. People now hid under the guises of that is a sit at home, and nobody was coming to work, and the work was suffering. Very few persons goes to work now. But today, because he says we will now take head counts.
Okay, taking head counts. That's why
if you're taking head counts now in the offices, maybe they submit to the accountant general. It's not stopping you from sitting at home. All he now says that we will now take head counts. We will now count how many times you come to work. And the accountant general will now minus.
But this is applicable to the markets as well?
No, that's not.
They're taking attendance in the market.
You see, when anything appears on social media, everybody will put.
So it's not true?
Mr. Sacramento, how can you do that? Mr. Sacramento, let me count people? In as much as you might know a lot of things about Soludo, because maybe we work hand in hand with Soludo, but that doesn't mean that you're Mr. Sacramento, please, I don't like us to be having blinded arguments here.
The truth about it is this. The truth about it is this, that as a governor, he has to use his executive power to make things work the way he wants.
All right, so what I'm getting is the executive power which he's using, and you're saying he's not being autocratic.
No,
and I'm coming to you now. Do you think if he had done this in his first tenure, it would have helped him to snatch his second tenure?
No, if he had done this in the first tenure, I don't think. Anyway, the rigging was done. I heard that in some places that some people won the election in some places, but I mean, what was pronounced was that Soludo was emerged the winner in those areas. So rigging can happen. But if it is truly that Nigerians practice a free and fair election, and he did this in his first tenure, I'm telling you, he's not going to win the second tenure. It is a fact. Now, Mr. Sacramento, I love the fact that you have maybe rooted knowledge about other states. Maybe like I don't, but the ones that I know, the ones that I heard of, I wouldn't want you to make it look like those ones does not exist, because it does exist. Now, there is high possibility that this attendance that they are taking in the market is actually true. So don't just come out and say it can never be true, that the market is not open. And I'm telling you now that the market did not open yesterday, and you're maintaining what you're saying, that the market opened yesterday. I just want, most of the times when people, even though maybe we have bosses, people that we work under, most of the times, let us at least say what is the reality. I'm not against you siding your butt, but the reality for me, I still maintain what I said before. The way he's going, the way he's going about it, the way he's going about it is an autocratic act, and it shouldn't be existing in a democratic nation. That is my point.
Okay, now autocracy, non-autocracy, and the way and manner in which he's handling it, harsh, needed in order to execute what he wants to execute. Now, we've seen the response on Monday, and we're looking forward to what will be the response of the governor. We've already seen him jubilating in the video that there are some people who resumed their jobs and came to work, and there are people who were saying that, like Ifoma said, that Onitsha main market was dry. People did not open, even bordering to other markets that usually would open on Mondays, but it didn't open. And also we started seeing videos, but Mr. Daniel Sacramento said some of those videos were old videos that they were bringing out, but with the intention of scaring people away from resuming work or resuming business as usual on Mondays. And I think the question that a lot of people is asking and what they want to know is how effective this is going to be with Governor Soludo, because if he manages to end sit at home in Anambra, it would be a solid political point on his own, for his own benefit. But if this backfires, it is going to be worse than it was before, and it's going to blow out of proportion and out of control, which is something a lot of people are sitting to know what exactly is going to be the response, what exactly the people are going to say. And I think finally, as we move over to the next story, I want to talk about the people, for instance. Now, for so long, it seems as though the Nigerian people have been moved to and fro wherever the government wants them to move. But with what is happening in Anambra State and a large chunk of people still defying that order of the governor, saying that they won't resume because they don't think that the security is tight enough. Do you think that we're getting to that point where people are uniting and understanding that they do have power?
Okay, please, can you
I'm asking, do you think that people now are having a united front? Because we're seeing now that some people are saying that they won't resume because they're scared for their lives. Do you think that people are now standing in unity against the government?
Exactly. Now, there's this attitude of the government that I'm not completely cool with. They will come out and they will bring out a particular law or policy. Let me talk about security now. Now, the governor of Anambra State has said he will shut down the market if people does not resume their daily activities in the market. Now, what I'm saying now is there are a lot of people coming from Ihiala. Ihiala is a dangerous area. Are you going to mount security over that place so that people can be rest assured that if they are going to the market, they will get to the market safely and they will go back safely? That's the main point of discussion here. It's not that I am against people coming to work. I'm not against. I love the way he came about the whole thing, but the way he's going and the way he's implementing it, that is the problem I have. Then talking about if people are having united funds, a situation whereby you cry out to the government, you come out, you do protest. What you see now is, number one, is either you are tear gassed, is either you are shot at, is either you are imprisoned. We don't have voices. But I love the fact that Nigerians are being pushed to the wall, that they are ready to literally do anything, and they've come out unanimously to say, if this is not going to happen with our government, if we cry to our government and the government would not hear our cry, we are going to, number one, maybe protect ourselves, protect our families, our communities. And not just that, the things that maybe we are not cool, the policies we are not cool with, we are going to stand unanimously and ensure that that does not stand, even if it is according to the law. I mean, we saw it in FCT though.
All right, now we're going to move to FCT, but I have to ask you the same question in all fairness. Do you think that the people in Anambra State they're starting a sort of revolution now against the government, against policies that they don't agree with?
There is no revolution in Anambra State. There is nothing of such. There is no level of such in Anambra State. Like I said, and I want you to realize this. You know, I don't make what out of more. People, it's not going to be a spontaneous reaction. It's going to be a rapid one. It's going to be a gradual thing. And that is why, if you watch the governor, he was okay. Number one, he has gotten what he wants to get. Now, before we begin to drag a lot of things, the Christmas celebrated in Anambra State was so peaceful everywhere. There was no issues of anything. It shows things are going to fall in place. There was security everywhere. And this immediately got to January, the governor of Anambra State gave out 30 vehicles to security agencies, brand new cars to them, to improve. Now, the market leaders had a discussion with him. They talked of how to improve the security in and around main market. So, which means they're beginning to have a template, a structure. You understand? Now, there have been movement of vehicular movement here and there, or in every 21 local government in Anambra State.
As of yesterday?
As of yesterday, it was 3 in the evening, but people came to work. People were in their secretariat, people went to work. Now, he's not asking you not to sit at home. I just made mention of that. If you want to sit, even as a worker, there's no problem. But when your salary comes, you understand that you'll be paid according to how many times you come to work. It's a simple thing. So people should not misunderstand it, because the problem is that we don't really understand the modus operandi. he wants to make things work the way he did when he was in CBN.
And this also applies to students as well.
No, it has nothing to do with it. What schools? People have been going to school on Monday, even without him saying that. People have been going to school. Just that some people are afraid, but he said you must go to school. You understand? So that is the thing. We're on the same page. We are still begging non-state actors to please help make Southeast regain its lost glory. Do you understand? People should help to make, not just because the governor is saying that, it should be a collective effort to make the state, every state in the southeastern region, regain its lost glory. Let's go back to the drawing board. Let's go back to when our region was so, we were enjoying our region. People who can live wherever they are, come back weekends in Southeast to come and flex and go back. So that's what we are saying.
And I think that is what we are all saying as well, that we should go back to how things used to be, how peaceful it used to be, and how prosperous, because there cannot be prosperity where there is insecurity. Now we're moving over to Abuja. This has been a long-standing conversation in social media, but this is a new direction that it has taken now. We remember the NLC protest and people chasing out Wike from Abuja. We remember as well Wike coming out to make a press conference regarding that, saying that they're making ridiculous demands which he cannot handle. He also mentioned the fact that they need the money that they have in their purse to sort out other things in FCT, and they can't just pay everything as salaries to those who are demanding them. Now they have come out. Now we're seeing that a particular court has restrained the Nigeria Labour Congress, the Trade Union Congress, from proceeding with the protest that they planned initially in FCT. And this is coming from an expurgate submission from Wike himself. So what this means is the planned protest, which was scheduled for sometime this February, will not be holding, and this is because of the court ruling. What is your take on that, Ifoma?
For me, I feel like this is all Wike is doing. This is somebody that, I mean, gave accommodation, got houses, built houses for the lawyers in FCT. So if they rule in his favor, I mean, is what is expected. You understand, your life is all about transaction. You give and you take to take back. So for me, I feel like this is Wike's doing. And I would just say this, just like I said in the other topic that we discussed earlier, when you push people to the wall, the way they will react, they won't even care if there is any constitution or if there is any law. Now, I remember when the workers in FCT was prohibited, that should be last week, by the courts, that they shouldn't protest. But they still carried on the protest. Some of them said that they are going to go home in their houses, that they are not going to protest again. They will go home to their houses, pending on when the governor, the FCT minister adheres and heeds to their demands. And it's not like what they were asking for was actually too much. A lot of them complained that they were marginalized. A lot of them said that they were unrepresented. A lot of them said that they weren't even getting their payment on time, that they don't even pay them, that they have months of unpaid salaries. I mean, this and this and this. You cannot be expecting me to function properly when you don't pay my salary, because salary equates to everything. If you're coming to work, it's from your salary that you get the money to go to work. If you're to pay for your house rent, it's from your salary. If you're to pay for your children's school fees, it's from your salary. So the salary literally, I'm not going to talk about other side hustles, but the salary literally covers everything. So if they are to come out to say that they are not cool with this is how much I want us to be. It's all about sitting down with them, their leaders. You understand, having a dialogue, what's it called, having a dialogue with them and arriving as a solution. Even if their demands is frivolous, there are still ways you can cut down so that everybody will still feel like they belong. That's number one. And then number two, I still love the fact that LLC and the other, is it TUC equally joined forces, trade union joined forces, because over the years, even in the 20s, the 1970s, they've been the one leading all this protest about people that haven't been paid their salary. As our last year, 2024, they protested, they led the protest for the increment in minimum wage. So I really love the fact that, I mean, we still have union that come to together to fight for the good of workers
in
Nigeria.
Now to you, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, right? Another perspective I'd like us to come from is the fact that you know, protest for so long has been the average man's last response when they feel their voices are not being heard. Now, if you have the court, the judiciary, which is supposed to be the hope of the common man, coming out to infringe on that right in a way and saying that they cannot go ahead to protest, where else can they express themselves? And do you think this bottled up anger can also, you know, reflect and become social vices and cause people to cause chaos in the society?
Sharon, the truth about it is that Nigeria is a theater of comedy. Courts will always, when they compromise, they always want to shut down a common man from people to hear their voice or their voices. The truth about it is this: whether the court comes up or not, if NLC have the right to do their protests, but the protest must be a peaceful one. The court can bring up whatever. It's not, if they disobey, it's not the first time. The court themselves also disobeys rulings. So if NLC goes ahead to do that, you know, protests, I wonder why government officials most of the time fears protests when you know you're not doing the right thing. So why should you be afraid? Allow people to protest, to drive home their demands, so that you would sit up. You can come out and you know, dialogue with them.
Yeah.
Except you have ulterior motives, or except the protest is being sponsored. Because that's another way. But if the demands have been met, you call you want to meet the demands, you call the heads of the unions and have a very fruitful discussion with them, and that protest will end. But when you are not coming forth with a reliable response, then protest must go on. So judiciary most of the times is funny when they bring up some judgments or rulings, because I believe that in FCT some of the judicial workers are even involved in the protest. So I wonder where the rulings was coming from.
All right. Now, I think at the end of the day, just to wrap up the story, it is very sad to see the judiciary, who right now is it seems as though they are not on the side of the people, and they are working as tools in the hands of the government. And I think in a situation and a society like that, we can no longer claim to have democracy, because this is how democracy thrives. Peaceful protest, getting the attention of the government, the appropriate authorities, and moving on. Now, still talking about the government, and you know, let's talk about some moves that they're making, which brings us to our final story for the morning. We're seeing that the Nigeria police force as a whole has commenced a 90-day training program. Now, the focus is quite interesting. They're focused on trauma management and mental health care for officers, and they say that this package is supposed to help the police officers do better at their jobs, especially in areas that has been bedeviled with violence, and they're exposed to different things on a daily basis. But what is your take on this initiative?
I think for me is out of the fact that they have a lot of things to work on, but it is a welcome development. I say it is a welcome development because these police people have been exposed to a lot in the society, a lot of crimes, a lot of gory pictures. You see pictures where, I mean, it's so gory, I can't even fathom it, I can't even explain it. So most of the times, I as a normal person, if I am to, you know, witness that kind of event, there is this message that it sends to my brain, and before you know it, it will start affecting my thoughts, my thought processes. So I think, yes, it's a welcome development. At least let them get the chance to, you know, unleash and
heal
heal
properly
properly and find better ways to approach a lot of situations, because sometimes that they react in the way that they react, some people might call it barbaric. It might actually be as a result of the things that they've witnessed, things that they've experienced firsthand that make them act that way, not necessarily because they want to react that way in situations. So I think it is actually a good what's it called, move. Let them heal, let them unpack a lot of things that have been in the system or in their brain for a long time.
All right. Now, so according to the Nigerian police, this is a first of its kind training where the Nigerian police force will be focusing on a 90-day training program on trauma management and mental health care, and especially in a society and country where we have not gotten to that point where we give so much attention to mental health and mental health awareness. It is interesting to see that this is the direction that they are taking. But Mr. Daniel Sacramento, your take, and do you think that this can be more than maybe an event that they do more than once in order to achieve maximum results?
It should be a quarterly thing.
Okay.
It should be a quarterly thing to reassess some of them, check their mental health, give them quality and recent digital training, so that some level of old analog
Police officers.
police training,
Okay.
will be abolished, so they begin to understand the human relationship with the police. Because if you have good human relationship with the people, you begin to have quality intelligence gathering, because that's how it works. But when people sees you and run away, or whenever you are coming, people don't want to talk to you because they don't even believe in the security system. They don't even want to see them around. It becomes a very, very dangerous thing, because it means that the security will not see properly, because the people are the torchlight that they need for them to see very well in any of the communities where they are. So when these things are not properly done, when the relationship with the citizens are not cordial, it becomes a problem. So it's a welcome development if being sustained. It has to be a quarterly thing, so that because of the millions of thousands of police we have everywhere, it goes around. Quality techniques, quality training. If it beats our imagination or beats our hearts whenever we come out, they say 6 policemen or 10 policemen were killed in a vehicle. It shows that they lack intelligence, because you cannot be in a particular place in as much as we know there is an ambushment. But most of the times it's not something sometimes they just lose guard themselves. You cannot come to a particular terrain, all of you just go and sit down inside one particular distance and be gisting when you know that the terrain where you are is not safe.
Dangerous.
So there are some certain things they need to learn. So if they measure up with this training and becomes a quarterly thing, and becomes a culture that they imbibes in it, definitely we're going to have new brown police system,
and we're bound to see changes. I think that is the major thing, that this would actually bring forth good fruit, and we can see the changes in the way and manner police officers handle situations and relate with the Nigerian people that they're here to protect and serve. But for here right now, this is where we have to call it a wrap on the conversation. Thank you very much, Mr. Daniel Sacramento, and of course Ms. Ifoma Oji, for joining us on the conversation. And of course to you, our viewers, if you're watching for the first time, this is Morning Pulse, and you better get comfortable, because we do this from Mondays all through Fridays every single morning, discussing Nigerian politics and global politics as well. If you're just joining for the first time and you're yet to subscribe, please endeavor to do that right away so you're updated whenever we go live. And also follow us across all social media at Active Citizens. You can find me across all media at Sharon Enemchukwu. And you, Ifoma,
you can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia, and on Instagram at Miselex.
For Mr. Daniel, he'll always be in the studio. Remember, once again, this is Morning Pulse and Active Citizens, and I remain your host, Sharon Enemchukwu. Till we come your way later today, do have a fabulous morning.